Now, before break, we talk about demand. So we have two types of demand: dependent demand and independent demand. Let me see if I turn on the mic. Okay. Let me know if you're not able to hear me or see anything on the screen. Okay, so just now we stopped at independent demand and dependent demand. Now we look at cost, right? In inventory cost. In the business, cost is something that you will talk almost in all the meeting, all your management meeting. So there are three costs inside inventory management. In chapter 5, you'll talk about three types of costs here. In the inventory cost, you have holding costs or carrying costs. Second, ordering costs. Third one, sortage costs. You have three types of costs: carrying, ordering, sortage. Okay, write this one down in your tutorial handouts. There are three basic costs associated with inventory: carrying or holding costs, ordering costs, sortage costs. So you imagine yourself in the inventory or in your factory house, right? I think most of you have done your industrial training or haven't, but when you have an opportunity to go into industry, some of you, right, you have opportunity to go into their inventory to see how they manage their stocks. So we have three types of costs: carrying, ordering, and storage. So first definition of carrying costs. Carrying costs is the cost that you spend to hold an item in the inventory. What does it mean? Let's say you open up a burger store. I put in very simplified cases. Let's say you're having a burger store, burger business. What I mean by holding costs? Meaning you put 100 packs of burger meat in the fridge. That is fall under holding costs or carrying costs. Right? Let's say the next day you want to sell burger, but now you put 100 pack of burger meat in your fridge. That one is fall under carrying costs. Okay. So how do you calculate, or what does the characteristic of carrying costs? If the cost grow linearly with the number of units in the stocks, it is fall under carrying costs. For example, burger store business just now, you buy 100 packet of meats, or you buy 1,000 packet of meat, the cost will be increasing with the number of meat that you put into your fridge, right? Or the meat packet that you purchase for your next day business. Okay, so if that means that you can calculate one packet how many money, how much it costs to purchase one packet or one unit of stock. For example, one packet of meat multiply by number of packet that you put into your fridge for next day business, it fall under carrying costs. Okay, that is just one of the simplified example. Of course, in the industry it will be more complex, but if you can understand the concept, it apply in this case. Okay, so these are all the example that you can find in inventory that fall under carrying costs. These are all the example. For example, labor. Right, labor also your carrying costs, because numbers of workers in your production plant, you can calculate, right? One worker 1 hour 50 ringgit multiplied by 50 workers in that particular day, then it fall under carrying cost. Okay, labor, facility storage, like you rent the storage, it calculate by day, by hours. You can calculate one by unit, by you can take unit multiply by unit of product multiply by cost per unit. If you can do that calculation, it fall under carrying cost. If there is a unit price multiply by numbers of unit you purchase, you can do this calculation to get the total cost, then it fall under carrying cost. Increase the number of unit, increase the carrying cost. Okay. So, or other meaning is that what will affect the carrying cost is the unit that you purchase. Number of unit is the one that affecting carrying cost. Okay, the rest you can read here. Okay, okay, you can read here. Normally in the industry, carrying costs will range from 10 to 40%. 10 to 40% of the value of the item value. What does it mean? For example, burger again. One burger, let's say you sell 3 ringgit, one burger. Normally, 10 to 40% of the selling price will fall under carrying cost. Okay, this is just a overview of what can be the carrying cost contribute to the total cost. Okay, this is just a guidelines. There's no particular numbers or no specific numbers, but it's within the range of 10 to 40. It will fall under carrying cost. Okay, or you can say as your raw material. The carrying cost you can say as your raw material costs, right? As long as you can, there is a price tag for individual item. You have the numbers of item, multiply, you can get the total cost. It fall under carrying cost. Next, we talk about ordering costs. Ordering costs is the cost that you buy to fill up the empty slot. Okay, ordering cost means the cost that you need to pay to fill up the to fill up the inventory. Back to the burger store again. Let's say your fridge capacity, the fridge capacity, you can store 500 packet of meat. So if in your inventory or in your fridge, you already have 300 packet. You already have 300 packet. In the fridge, you can store 500. To fill it full, you need to purchase another 200 packet. 200 packet is the ordering cost. To fill the 100%, to fill up 100% your inventory. It's called ordering cost. Okay? So we already explained about carrying or holding cost. Now we go into ordering cost. Ordering cost is the cost that you need to fill up or charge up your inventory. In other words, it's called a replenishing, right? For marketing people or management people, they use replenishing. But for Asian people, if the English is not your mother language, this one might be new word for you. Replenishing. Replenishing means fill up the gap of the space in your in your storehouse inventory. This one normally, when you talk about ordering costs, you need to take note. It is in the unit of dollar amount per order. We call it per order. Normally, you will quote per order, right? And it's independence of the order size. It doesn't cares how many you put into the fridge. It just interested how many money you buy in that order. Because let's say the burger business, every day you don't know, let's say you sell burger every day, you cannot you don't know how many customer will come to your store every day, but although you can do forecastings. So every day if you need to fill up your fridge, you buy meat, you do buy meat to put into your fridge, you don't know the exact number, but you can calculate your ordering cost in dollar sign, meaning in the total amount that you spend to fill up the fridge. Okay, we don't, when you talk about ordering costs, we don't actually want to know about the order size. Right? And one interesting observation when you talk about ordering costs, it will increase with the number of orders. Right? So the more orders you do, this one is not about the unit anymore. Means how many orders you take. Ordering cost and carrying cost, they work inversely. Okay, try to think. There's a relationship between three costs here. Carrying cost, ordering cost, and store take cost. Now, carrying cost and holding cost is to fill your storehouse or your space there. Ordering cost is carrying cost is how many items you buy for your operation. Ordering cost is the one that you top up your inventory, right? So the relationship between holding cost and carrying cost, it works inversely. The more you buy, okay, the more you buy mean less ordering cost you need. It works inversely. You take the burger store example again. Let's say the fridge you can store is 500 packet in the fridge. If you buy more burger meat, you will reduce your ordering cost, because the more you buy, the less you need for replenishing your inventory. Make sense? Right? The less you spend on holding costs, the more ordering costs you will achieve. Let's say the fridge can store 500 packet of meat. And every time you buy 100, 100, 100. So every time you need to order cost 400, 400, 400. Okay. Another case, fridge again 500. Every time you fill up the fridge, you buy 400, you buy 500, 400, 500. So the total ordering cost, the ordering cost that you need to spend every time, by the end of the week or by the end of the day, will be reduced. All right. So sometimes you don't need any cost for ordering. Sometimes you need to fill up 100, 0, 100, 0, something like that. So these two are work inversely. Carrying cost and ordering cost, they work inversely, but they are tied up together. Right? Yeah. Try to understand the concept. Carrying cost and ordering cost. If you confuse this one, you'll sure get wrong answer in your test or exam. Okay. Okay. The next one is that, okay, this one is more practical advice. If you order larger amount, you need higher inventory level, meaning you need more space. You need more space and higher carrying costs. If you increase the ordering cost, you need bigger space, and also you increase your carrying cost. This is only the after effect. So this is the summary of the relationship between carrying cost and ordering cost. So as the order size increase, ordering cost decrease, carrying cost increase. Take note, there's some technical terms here. Order size and number of orders. Don't confuse between these two. Order size mean number of unit you purchase. Order size, volume that you purchase. Number of order, how many times you need to order. Okay, try to differentiate order size and number of orders. Here, this statement here is more on order size. If you increase your order size, your ordering cost decrease, carrying cost increase. Yeah. Next one, we talk about shortage cost. We already clear holding cost and ordering cost. Now we talk about shortage cost. Shortage cost is all businessmen, you try to avoid this one because it's a loss sales when you do not meet customer demand. It can be temporary, serious one, it can be permanent loss. It can be temporary. If you have a good lots of faithful customers, then it will fall under temporary losses. If you keep repeating, make your customer angry because you have a very weak inventory management. Every time customer go to your store, don't have. Go second time, don't have. Third time, don't have. Then you make your faithful customer angry and you might experience permanent loss. Okay, as a businessman, or if you would go to the management level later on, if you work, this is the one that you don't want to discuss or don't wish to discuss in your management meeting. All right, because this is about loss. Loss of sales, less profit, operation costs go up, then somebody going to get fired. All right, because the operation cannot sustain. So shortage cost is more on losses that you have, losses of sales, when you do not meet the customer demand. Means you lose customer. Shortage costs include, or in other textbook or in other textbook, sometimes they call stock out costs. Shortage costs, sometimes you will see stock out costs. Maybe in a financial term, they will put as a stock out cost. Okay, same meaning like what I explained just now. Shortage cost is very subjective. You can only feel it after a few months, and we found out, oh, there's a drop of sales. You cannot find it in the real time, but you can only see the pattern after a period of time. Okay. And we can do forecasting with what we learned in chapter 4. Educated guess means you can do forecasting. Okay. Meaning here one tools that we can use is the trend, calculating the trend line. Either go up or go down. Okay. So it does tell you, this is just a highlight. You try to avoid losses in your sales because the costs is very high if you lost your customers. Okay, this is an important point. So shortage costs have an inverse relationship in carrying cost. This one, shortage cost, have inverse relationship with carrying cost. Why? The more you spend here, right? The more you spend here, what does it mean? It means your customer can get the item anytime they need. The less you spend over here means the inventory don't have enough item, customer complaint will come in. Every time customer go to your store, they don't have. If you spend less cost here. If you spend more here, means the customer happy, cost, shortage cost go down. I try to explain in a more simpler way. Of course, if you read textbook, it will explain in very detailed one. But as long as you get the concept, then it's fine. Holding cost means customer always can get item in your store. Okay, if you spend less here, customer complain, this one go up. Okay, means you lost customers. Yeah. Okay, the rest you can read. Again, when you do inventory management, we try to keep these three things in balance. If can, this one minimum, this one minimum, this one minimum, because all this involve money. Okay, buy too much also not good for your wallet. Order cost also not good for your wallet. Losing customer also not good for your wallet. So the optimum goals in inventory management is to reduce these three. Reduce how much? There's a calculation for that later. But in the principle, inventory management, we want to reduce this one, this one, this one. Again, we already discussed about the relationship. You reduce this one, increase this one. Reduce this one, increase this one. In related one. But we want to find one balance point where this three is minimized. Okay. Next, we talk about type of inventory system. We have two type of system, continuous and periodic. You have two type of inventory system, continuous or periodic, or in the bracket, fixed order quantity system or fixed time period system. Continuous one, you look at number of quantity you purchase in the system. Let's say if it's continuous, if hit below certain numbers you purchase, meaning in your storeroom, always have that minimum number. It's a fixed order quantity, meaning there's a gauge there, there's a one fixed number there. If continuous system or fixed order system, fixed order quantity system, means if the inventory drop to a certain value, the system will trigger and purchase the item. It fall under continuous. Second one, fixed time period. Fixed time period focus more on time. It doesn't care how many numbers you have in the inventory. After 1 week, you auto upload, auto reload like that. Like some of you, if you use a auto debit system to update your data, mobile data, is fall under fixed time periods. Okay, so you update, if fall under periodic, it focus more on time. The system will auto generate purchase order after a certain of time. Okay, so at least you know the basic of inventory management. There are two systems, continuous and periodic. Definition, textbook definition that you need to fill in your tutorial handouts. Continuous inventory is that focusing on amount. When there is a predetermined level reached, the system trigger an order item. constant amount of order happen when it reach a predetermined amount, level. Okay. So this one already done. Another name is called, there are two names that fall under continuous. It depends on textbook to textbook, and also from one company to another company. But you will see the same meaning, either continuous, perpetual, or fixed order quantity. For our module, we use continuous system. Okay, for a module, we use continuous system, or sometimes I will just guided you in a question, I will just mention fixed order quantity system, so that you know, okay, this one you need to focus on order, right? Or I use fixed time period system in the question, or you know, oh, okay, I need to focus on time in the calculation. Okay. For the fixed order quantity, there are some characteristic for this kind of system. If you have continuous system or fixed order quantity system, you need a recording system or continual record. You need to always detect the items of quantity of item in your inventory. Okay. Now, most of the time, it depends on the operation in your factory. For example, those doing online businesses, you will use continuous systems. You always keep track of the minimum item that you have in your inventory. Okay. One of the requirement or characteristics for continuous inventory system, you need a real-time record, or continual record means you always have an update of the record. So here there's one technical word I want to point to, is reorder point. So every time it reach one point that in here predetermined level or predetermined value, that point is called reorder point. Every time your quantity drop because of your operation, you send out item to your customer, right? 100, let's say your optimum is your maximum capacity is 100. So 100, you sell until maybe 50. You set 50 as your reorder point. Every time the system detect 50 unit in your inventory, it will trigger the order procedure. Means you will issue PO and replenish, or you will reorder the things to top up the inventory. Okay, so this is reorder point. Later you will see this word in calculation. Definition for fixed time period system is what you see on the screen. It focuses on time. Okay, it focus on a fixed time. You set the clock inside your system, maybe after 24-hour auto update, right? Auto buy things, right? Okay, this one already covered. Okay, so this one just an explanation of periodic. So in this system, periodic system, after let's say 24 hour, after 24 hour, the system will check the available item in the inventory, then order will place to top up to maximum capacity. Okay, in the periodic, means after you set the time, the alarm clock you set, after 24 hour or 1 week, after that time that you set, the system will go and check. After 24 hour, you go and check, okay, how many items inside there? Do you need to order or not? So it check there's a space there. You're going to trigger the PO, purchase order, and fill up the space in the inventory. Okay. Continuous one, you always check one. You always check in the real time. So there is a drop to a certain reorder. value, it will top up. This one is more on time. So if you use a periodic system, this one usually is a cargo or in a bigger player, you will use a time periodic system in your inventory. Okay, so when you practice the periodic system, you don't need a real time, very detailed record keeping. You don't need a very fast computation facilities, because you only update, like for example, 1 week, 1 month, or so. So every time when you trigger the system, the system will go and check what is the available system in that particular, after that week. Then it will tell you how many you need to top up. Okay. Only one drawback for the second periodic system is that there's no direct control. Means you cannot know what is the real time demand. You don't know how many item already sent out at that particular time in real time. You can only check after you set the alarm clock, after maybe 1 week. Then only you know at that particular time. You know, oh, after 1 week, or you know, okay, and that week how many I sell. You cannot check the real time unit. Example of a periodic inventory, for example, bookstore, right? For example, bookstore. Nowadays, there are less and less bookstore, or those places that you sell, like for example, Popular and all this. So they will use periodic system in their inventory. Okay, so after like 1 week or 1 month, they will upload the books inventory in their shop. Right, they go and check, how many books after 1 month. All right, so they will change the top seller books in the shelf. Right, if you go to Popular or Kinokuniya, right, in KLCC, so you will see that the popular textbook, popular books, they will update, like some every 2 weeks or some every month, like top sales of that month, or top sales of top popular books of that month, right? So this is one of the example for periodic inventory system. Yeah. Okay. Okay, maybe you go for a little bit more. You learn about continuous and periodic system. Now we learn about one more system that used by, you can say, as olfactory. Right? It's called ABC classification system. Definition for ABC system. ABC system used in inventory to classify a certain item according to the preset value, right? Meaning in this system, you use ABC to identify which stock is A, which stock is B, which stock is C. Okay, ABC system is a classification system to identify the inventory value. We can say as inventory value. Stock A, stock B, stock C. When you do inventory control system, how do you control your inventory? Let me check. Okay, yeah, we're still in the control system. So ABC system is a classification system where you classify all your inventory into A, B, C. Okay, I'll give you one example. So normally, this one ABC, how you set ABC, it depends on company, but in principle, it will fall into this category. So you look at the numbers in the total. Let's say the item is 5 to 15% of all the inventory. Okay, let's say you have 100 items in your store. And this item, how you classify this item or this kind of stock is stock class A. You look at the number of that particular item. It will contribute maybe 10% of total inventory you have. Let's say 100 items in the store, you only have 10 units in your store. It will fall under class A, and their value, their dollar value in the inventory, it will contribute about 80%. Let's say your total inventory in your store, let's say you add all the price tags, all the costs in your shop. Let's say you have 100 items. It costs you 100 ringgit. Let's say 100 ringgit. Let's say 1,000 ringgit as a total cost. So if the small quantity of items, it contributes 80% of the total dollar value, you fall under class A. So by having this statement, class A, usually they are expensive items. Okay, in short, how do you know it's class A? How you know class B? How you know class C? Class A, usually they are expensive item. Okay. Class B, you evaluate, you expand or elaborate from the statement just now. B, the number increase a little bit, dollar value reduce a little bit, it class under class B. Class C is most of numbers is a lot, huge, but the value is small. So you have A, B, and C. Just give you a simple illustration. A, in short, is expensive, extreme expensive item that in your store. Means if you walk into your store, those expensive item fall under class A. You won't find many expensive item in your store. Those expensive item, it fall under class A. You walk into your shop, those cheap item, there's no expensive, no defined value for cheap lah. But if you compare A and C, if you walk into your store, the item is cheap or low value, but a lot one, you see it a lot one, it fall under class C. Okay, B is in middle lah. Okay, I give you an extreme example here. A is expensive, extreme expensive item, meaning that the item that when you purchase, you need to think twice one. But it's only like maybe 5 or 10 units in the store one. You fall under class A. Class C is those that very cheap one. You don't even to consider how much you need, and then you just purchase one. Cheap item, C. Okay, B is between lah. Okay. I give you an illustration. Okay, before that, I give you a chart. And you have this chart in your handouts, tutorial handouts. So what does this chart give you? On the left, is percentage of dollar value, meaning the value of that item. The more expensive, the higher it goes. For example, A. And the percentage of inventory items, meaning number of units in your store, from 0 to 100. 100%. This one is 100%. So as you can see, all those expensive and small amount, it fall under class A or item A items. In your handouts, you don't have all these labels. You need to label in the graph. In your tutorial handout, I purposely take out all these label. You need to label. So this one is item A or class A, B, C. C, as you can see, cheap and a lot. Okay, label A, B, C. example. Maybe I'll give you an example. You go to shopping mall. You walk into, let's say I pick one brand. You walk into Ion, Jasco, right? You go to Jasco. Oh, you know what is Jasco, right? Anyone from overseas, right? Let me know if the term I use you don't understand. Jasco is a mall in Malaysia. You go into Jasco, you go into Eon, Eon, Jasco. You go into there. Example of class A item. For example, sometimes you see cars, right? You see cars in the mall, right? You see television, you see computer, maybe washing machine, right? Those expensive item. The item is very, very small. I mean, not small. The item numbers in the mall is maybe 10% only of the total inventory as you walk into the shopping mall, right? Television, cars, motorbikes. Some they sell motorbikes in the mall. All those expensive items, but the unit is very, very small. B, I will skip because B is between A and C. I give you a extreme example of C. C is the one that you go and buy your grocery, right? You go and buy the battery, AA battery, AAA battery. You go and buy your mother or father, your parents, always Sunday go shopping one, always go and buy the vegetables, or go and buy the, what else? Clothes, or maybe in Chinese New Year, go and buy clothes, or you go and buy the fruits, tropical fruits, right? They come in lots, right? In lots, and sometimes they sell, or the soft drink, they sell in packet one now. So this one is fall under class C, and the numbers that you find in the mall is huge, but the price tag is low, very cheap. For example, you buy soft drink, right? Soft drinks or mineral water in the mall. So they are one whole row. You can see, wow, what mineral water, right? You fall under class C. B is between B is between. So at least you can differentiate what is A and C. Then B is fall between. Okay, I hope you can see the picture. Class A, B, C. This one in the control system, inventory control system. You can classify your stock based on class A stock, class B stock, class C stocks. Okay. Now, next one we talk about security. In the mall, you want to secure your item A, right? Or item that fall into classification A or A item. Why? Because they have very high value but low number. For example, you will protect the television that you sell in your mall, like electronics parts. That's why they lock the computer, laptop sample, or those electronic expensive one in the cabinet or with the locking mechanism, right? Because they are class A items. You don't see the mall will lock the fresh food, the milk in the locker, right? You won't see that because class C, they are cheap, right? Class C, you don't need any tight security for classification C. Means you can access by anyone. But A, you need a very tight security because they are expensive. Okay, so each inventory, it requires different level of monitoring and control. You need detailed monitoring and control for item A because A is expensive. It is contribute to the value, the total value of your inventory. It will contribute up to 80% of your total value of the whole inventory. That's why you need to monitor them. Or during fire, that is the item you want to save most. it fall under class A. Okay, so the higher the value of inventory, for example, A, the tighter the control. Okay, you will watch very carefully how many item or unit you want to purchase. Okay, just now you learned about 3 costs, right? This one also, item A, you will watch very carefully on the 3 costs that we covered just now. So for example, this one, right? A will have the most tightest control in inventory. Okay, C you can say minimum, or maybe you don't need just minimum control, right? Television and groceries. TV, computer, laptop, normally they are fall under class A. Groceries, all these stationaries, soft drinks, all those loose items, normally class C. Okay, this is a shopping mall example. In the industry, it for the same concept also. A is expensive one, expensive equipment, expensive workers, also fall under class A. Okay, those specialists in your factory, those specialists means those expert in that area, they are fall under A, and those have a very high salary, class A. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So all this you can read lah. All this can read. Just now I talked about the control. So the more higher the classification, especially class A, you need tight control, and inventory level should be low as possible, and safety stock is minimized. Just now we talked about safety stock, right? The buffer stock. You don't put a lot of safety stocks for class A. For example, in a mall just now, TV, you won't see in a mall they have extra TV in a mall. Let's say you want to buy the most of the time if you go to mall to buy a TV, they will tell you something. The one that you see is what we have. If you want a new one, you need to wait lah. We need to order. We don't have stock because they are class A item. Okay, so safety stocks is minimized for class A item. But when it comes to class C item, cheap item, normally they have a safety stocks. For example, eggs, all those fresh food or milk, they have extra stock behind the mall. Right? They can always pull all these stocks to fill up the inventory. Okay, so these are the consideration when it comes to class A, B, C item. Yeah. And the higher the classification, for example, class A, you need accurate demand forecast for class A. That's why we learned in chapter 4 previously, there are a few methods you use. The most accurate one is the linear trend forecast. Of course, there are a few more. Okay, exponential, adjusted exponential, and so on. You still can use, but pick the most accurate method for demand forecast for class A. Okay, because they are expensive and they contribute to the most of the total cost, 80% of the value of the inventory you have. Okay, that's why you need a very accurate demand forecast for that. Okay, we already learned about demand forecast in chapter 4. So when it comes to class A item, check the accuracy of demand. You need to use the most accurate forecast tools or equation for that class A. Okay, for class C, you can use other methods. For example, the exponential. Exponential also accurate. It's just that the four method that we learn, the line, the linear trend line method is the most accurate one. Okay. I think we stop here, and then next lecture we're going to look at one example of ABC system. Okay. All right. Let me stop the recording.